Well, hi everybody. Hi. My name is Melissa Seamer, recovered compulsive overeater. I'm in New York, and yeah, I'm gonna welcome anybody who maybe didn't acknowledge that they were new here, or welcome us all. Before we get started talking tonight, we're going to talk about steps 8 and 9. And at the end of step 9, there is some gorgeous promises that will I'll make sure to get some time through to discuss and elaborate on. Just want to give you a little background about who I am, because I think it's always important to kind of qualify, especially before we start talking about this amend kind of thing. Because, like, unless unless you have what what I have, unless you have what we have, some of this stuff sounds kind of crazy. But if you've lived the way that I've lived, where food like seemed to rule my life, this is a kind of crazy that makes sense to someone crazy like me. Doing this is certainly a lot easier than it was living with the merciless obsession of a food addiction. And so, my experience was, food seemed to rule my life. I mean, it's so crazy now to think that my obsession for eating, like, just took me to some really ugly spots. And the way that I behaved kept me obsessed to food, kept me connected to food. So it's not like I can't say, well, oh, in my food addiction, I caused so much harm. I caused so much harm and I was addicted to eating. It like seemed that the harm that I caused, whether it was to myself and to those around me, fueled my eating. And it would like, and then the more I ate, the more I really didn't seem to care about other people. The more I didn't seem to care about other people, the more I seemed to eat. It like built upon each other until a point where at the bitter end for me, um, I knew what I needed to do. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew exactly what I shouldn't be eating. I knew I had had some amazing people attempt to give me really good directions, and I couldn't seem to do it. It's like I had no it wasn't it wasn't that I didn't have the desire. I had tremendous desire. I think along the line I really didn't have willingness. And it was when I was pummeled that I truly became willing to say, okay, I might not like some of this stuff, but I got nothing else. And when I took that position and I surrendered entirely to God, that I didn't even know for sure what that was going to look like for me, I just said, you know what, I don't even know, but it's got to be better than the way I'm living. I got better and I got better pretty quick. And so that's really my story. I got well. I've been relieved of over 160 pounds. I don't live in the merciless obsession with food. I mean, it's like Halloween just passed this weekend. I actually forgot in the excitement of the Halloween holiday, I forgot that candy is generally attached to Halloween. It was like a non-issue. So how do we go from unable to leave it alone to not even thinking about it at all, that the desire just gets removed? It's the steps, right? And so here's a crucial step that we're going to land on now. We are on on 8 and 9. And in the big book, it's Into Action, page 76. And it says on the third paragraph, now we need more action, without which we find that faith without works is dead. Let's look at step 8 and 9. All right. Well, it says we attempt to sweep away the debris which has accumulated out of our effort to live on self will and run the show ourselves. So when I try to run the show myself, when I think about that, that means if I'm trying to run the show myself, it means I'm out there playing God. I'm trying to be something. I'm trying to be this force. And what happens when I try to run the show? I create chaos, hurt, and confusion. If we haven't the will to do this, we ask until it comes. And, ask who? Ask God. Asking in the big book really means prayer. We ask. Who do we ask? We ask God. So we pray. If I don't have the will to do something in this program, I pray. And, remember, it was agreed at the beginning we would go to any lengths for victory over alcohol. In my case, any length for victory over the food. And this was an agreement that we make. It's what I ask when I agree to sponsor someone. If we look back at page 58, it says, if you've decided you want what we have, what do we have? Freedom, right? And are willing to go to any lengths to get it, then you're ready to take certain steps. Well, this is one of those steps, right? This is a big one of those steps. In the fourth paragraph, it says, probably there are still some misgivings. Yeah, misgivings, right? Feeling of doubt or apprehension about the outcome or the consequences of something. And when I have doubt and apprehension, it's because I'm concerned that there will be consequences for making the amends, which I might not want, right? Or might not go so well for me in my mind. But if I keep in mind that I am no longer running the show, right? We said I'm no longer running the show, then I really don't have to fear the possible outcomes because trust and reliance on God is critical here. I can look back at my third step promises if I feel unsettled. In page 63, it says, being all powerful, he provided what we needed if we kept close to him and performed his work well. I think this is part of the work that's required, that performance, you know. So even if my amend results in unfavorable outcomes for me, what I think isn't good, I trust that I'm going to get what I need. Might not be what I want, might not be what I like, but my needs will be met. I have to believe that in the hard times, God will give me the resources needed to get through the difficulties, or He'll diminish my sensitivity to the discomfort, right? Either He's going to give me the strength or He's going to make it that it wasn't so bad to begin with after all. Um, so, as we look over the list of our business acquaintances and friends that we've hurt, we may feel diffident, right? We might feel shy, or hesitant, or insecure about going to some of them on a spiritual basis. Let us be reassured, to some people, we need not and probably should not emphasize the spiritual feature on our first approach. And here it's going to explain why on our first approach, right? You might not like be speaking about spiritual. Why not? Because we might prejudice them. At the moment, we're trying to put our lives in order, but this is not an end to itself. Our real purpose is to fit ourselves to be of maximum service to God and the people about us. So, my actual purpose, our actual purpose, it's not to get our lives in order. That is not what it says here. Oh, I'm doing this to get my life in order. No, it might be your motivation. It might be my motivation. I want to get my life together. But my real purpose is to stop living by selfish means because I have a purpose. And it's a true reason for living. And what is it? It's to be of maximum service to others. And what I found out is when I lived my life with the intention of being of a maximum service to others, my life actually got put in order. Like, that's the crazy thing. When I stop focusing, I'm going to get my life in order, and I start thinking, how can I be useful to others? In the usefulness to others, God ordered my life. He put in what became important first and not as important, behind that. It then goes on to say that it's seldom wise to approach an individual who still smarts from our injustice to him and announce that we've gone religious. And it says here, why lay ourselves open to being branded fanatics or religious bores? We might kill a future opportunity to carry a beneficial message. Our man is sure to be impressed with a sincere desire to set right the wrong. He is going to be more interested, though, in a demonstration of goodwill than in our talk of spiritual discoveries. So, the reason we don't go to these people talking necessarily about God right off the bat, it's not because I'm ashamed of this. No. In fact, we are told, like, I never apologize to anyone for my reliance on God, not at all. But here, it's because if I go there, I imagine this. I've caused harm with someone. I've hurt them. And now I go before them and I sound as though, well, I've got God now, so it's all good and I'm here to make things right with you. That might seem insincere and it might also make me really not very useful to them because they might not really want to hear what I have to say. It sounds kind of um, smug, right? To say, like, well, now I've got God on my side. And I think it's the demonstration. It's showing up, ready to right any injustices that we've done. And I think it's in our actions that we show up and carry that message about what it really means to have a relationship with God, rather than talk to people incessantly about my relationship with God. I show up like someone that has a relationship with God, right? So the other thing is that if people believe that I'm not sincere, right? If they think I'm sort of going up and just talking about my relationship with God, and they might question my sincerity, and then they'll disregard everything that I say because they won't see me as sincere. They won't take what I have to say as though it's actually true. Page 77 on the first paragraph says, we don't use this as an excuse, though, for shying away from the subject of God. When it will serve any good purpose, we are willing to announce our convictions with tact and common sense. So we can talk about God because it'll serve a good purpose, but we always use common sense. And really, more than talking about God, we need to demonstrate, to show through our behavior God's presence. In the first paragraph, again, it says on page 77, the question of how to approach the man we hated will arise. It may be he has done us more harm than we've done him. And though we may have acquired a better attitude toward him, we are still not too keen about admitting our faults. Nevertheless, with a person we dislike, we take the bit in our teeth. And so, I was taught that if you take the bit in your teeth, it means you do this decisively. Like you're not being controlled by your feelings about what was done to you or even your opinion about this other person. Like you have to put that entirely out of your mind. What you think about them, how you feel about them. That's there. We do it decisively. And it says, it's harder to go to an enemy than to a friend, but we find it more beneficial to us. And I was thinking about that, like, what benefit? What are they talking about, this benefit? Well, the benefit that we're after, the whole purpose of this book is to enable us to have a relationship with a power greater than ourselves, right? So the benefit that I'm after is a relationship with God. And so I actually find the harder the amend, the closer I got to God. The more difficult it was, it seemed like the more I needed to rely on God, the more I felt God's presence, the more I leaned on Him, the more I found He was there. right? And I got the positive effect. And, the greater my reliance on God, the greater my freedom. That's what it is. In step 7, we learned, right? Which is why I think it's always important we do these in order. Step 7, we learned that hard situations require more faith. That's what it says in the AA 12 and 12 on step 7. Hard situations mean more faith. Well, I find out, like, if you think about this, right? My closest friends became my closest friends not on a beach, not when we're having a great vacation together. That might be fun, but the people that I have come and the relationships in my life that are the strongest are the ones that have had my back through my difficult periods, that were there for me in rough going, right? That's when you find out. You've got these friends, right? I have these friends, these relationships in my, even like my family, for example. I would say my husband. We got closer when life became more difficult. We found that we could lean on each other and our relationship strengthened. And that's been my experience with God as well. That when I lean on God through difficult times, and yes, in making hard amends, it's when a friend shows up and it's reliable, you get closer to that friend. And that's how it's been with my relationship with God. Page 77 says we're there to sweep off our side of the street, realizing that nothing worthwhile can be accomplished until we do so. Never trying to tell him what he should do. His faults are not discussed. We stick to our own. If our manner is calm, frank, and open, we will be gratified with the results. So I only focus on my faults. And I would say this is called a clean amends. This is clean. If I'm going to, I'll throw my husband in there, for example, right? If I'm going to my husband and I'm making an amend for my behavior, then I don't mention anything about his actions or what I believe may have triggered me. So when I said to my husband, and here was like a big one for me, I've had to make amends for being demanding and throwing temper tantrums. And you might find that hard to believe. I think many of us put on a much nicer, right? We generally, I have to say though, my inside me matches my outside me today. But I used to show up really sweet, mostly for the outside world. And I was a lunatic in my house. I did it growing up to my family. I carried on. I used to throw these temper tantrums. And I did it in my adult life. Not really happy about that. Pretty embarrassing. And I had to make amends to my husband for that. And when I made those amends, you know, I don't say, well, I'm sorry I've been demanding and I threw a temper tantrum, because you left a sink full of dishes. No, right? Or I threw a temper tantrum because you didn't, whatever it was, right? Um, we don't mention what they did. My part was I threw a temper tantrum. I started the morning off because for me it was always the mornings in 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 like a uncomfortable, unpleasant way. I got everybody off to start their day in an unpleasant way. That's my side, right? And what I found out is that generally our amends need to be much shorter than we want them to be. When they go on and they're too long, what I really notice is that I'm making excuses for my poor behavior or assigning blame, trying to justify and explain rather than just owning my part. So amends are generally much shorter than I used to think they were. They don't require lengthy explanations. They don't need a backstory. There is no backstory, right? Page 78 says this, the first paragraph. Sometimes the man we're calling upon admits his own fault. So feuds of years standing melt away in an hour. Rarely do we fail to make satisfactory progress. Our former enemies sometimes praise what we're doing and wish us well. Occasionally, they're going to offer assistance. It should not matter, however, if someone does throw us out of his office. We have made our demonstration, done our part. It's water over the dam. So, my experience was I have made amends that were not warmly received. I've had a few amends like that. I've attempted to make amends to someone who does not want to speak to me at all. And when I see this person still today, run into her in social work type situations. She doesn't look at me at all. She like averts her gaze. I don't, but I don't, but I don't because I've made the attempt. I have, attempted. I am willing, and I don't cringe when I see her. I don't get that sick feeling inside when she walks into a room. When her name comes up, here's the most incredible thing. I can say something kind about her and I actually mean it. I'm not just saying it. Part of what, my amends was I was no longer going to say anything negative about her. When my mind drifted, like I had to get rid of that resentment. That was that step 4. I had to ask God to remove it. And I had to make a conscious decision that I was going to pray for her. And I was going to really look diligently to find what her positive attributes were. And now, yeah, I think about them all the time. She was actually someone who mentored me in the early part of my career. I mean, I learned so much from her. I only think of her, in that light. So this is an example of God rewired my heart. He really has. I've page 78 says this paragraph 2, we do not dodge our creditors. Okay, so this is like if you owe money, we're really given directions here. It says you can arrange the best deal. You can actually arrange a deal. You can let these people know that you're sorry, that your drinking has made you slow to pay. We must lose our fear of creditors no matter how far we have to go, for we are liable to drink if we are afraid to face them. So if you owe money, if you got debt that you're not paying up and you've made no attempt to pay it up, you've been ignoring those bills, you've been ignoring those calls to people that you owe money to, you can actually have a discussion with them. You can call them up and you can come up with a plan for paying them. And there are many ways that you could do it. You could set it up so it's automatically comes out of, if you can't pay it all up front, you at least show up with a plan how you're going to do it, right? It's not just I'm sorry. Amend is restitution. It's repayment of something. It's not just, oh, I'm really sorry. And here's the incredible thing, when you begin to make those repayments, when you work out a payment plan and you start paying these things back, when the phone rings, you don't have to avoid answering it. You don't have to let it go to voicemail. You don't have to say, oh gosh, or cringe when you see that other person, you owe them money. You can actually hold your head up, doing the best that you can do. And I think that's amazing. I think that's, when we talk about freedom, we're not afraid anymore. Paragraph 3. Perhaps we've committed a criminal offense which might land us in jail if it were known to the authorities. Maybe only a petty offense such as padding the expense account. Most of us have done this sort of thing. Page 79 says this, although these reparations take innumerable forms, there are some general principles which we find guiding. I love guiding principles. It's what we use when we're not sure. We have principles that guide us. Reminding ourselves that we've decided to go to any length to find a spiritual experience. Remember, that's what we're after here. We ask that we be given strength, direction to do the right thing, no matter what the personal consequences may be. We may lose our position or reputation or face jail, but we are willing. We have to be. We must not shrink at anything. So here's the general principles and guides, right? I like lists. One, we decided we're going to any lengths to have a spiritual experience. We are saying that our relationship with God is first. I will go to any length, right, for that relationship. Two, we pray for strength and direction to do what's right. Not sure? You don't think you can do it? It's terrifying for you? We pray for strength. We pray for direction. Three, we're not focused on our personal consequences. We're supposed to kind of put that out of our mind, right? And four, even if we lose our reputation or freedom, we actually would sooner go to jail than shrink. And, I think about it like this, there can be no worse bondage than being a free person and not really feeling free, right? Like having family that loves you, uh, an occupation that provides for you, having enough, and yet feeling in bondage to candy. I mean, what could be more ridiculous than that, right? So, the thing that always grabs me is the reputation, the word reputation, because I worshipped. I was a slave to reputation, which meant really caring what everybody thought about me, which was selfishness, right? If all I care about is me and what you think of me, my reputation. And, for me, I had to risk my reputation. I had, probably one of the hardest amends for me I had to make was telling a coworker that I stole candy from her. You know, I have a good reputation and or what I believed, professional reputation. And I had to risk this reputation. But I had to ask myself, what is it that I worship? Do I worship God or people's opinions of me? Which is it going to be? I can't have both, right? And what I found is that my integrity is more valuable than protecting an image that I didn't actually deserve, right? If I'm focused on this image that I don't even feel worthy of, and I'm risking my integrity, I will have no peace, right? I will have no peace. Page 80, paragraph 4, the fourth line down. He saw that he had to place the outcome in God's hands, or he would soon start drinking again, and all would be lost anyhow. And this is why we're doing this, isn't it? We have no options. If we don't do this, it's not a matter of if we'll return to the food, it is a matter of when. People who wonder why they didn't get well very often have an amend that they're like, hell no, hell no. And look at what happened with Dr. Bob. He had that. It's in the story about Dr. Bob where um, he returned to drinking again because he didn't want to risk his reputation. And when he drank, he realized he was going to have to put the outcome in God's hands. And for him, I mean, holy smokes, he had to tell people that he performed surgery while drinking, right? But he did it. But he did it because all would be lost anyhow if we didn't, right? And you know, page 81 talks about drinking complicating sex relations in the home, and that there's a lot of direction here. And I think one of the things that is really important is that we're not to hurt other people in the process. We have to be very careful and very sensitive, and especially where sexual relationships are concerned, when it involves other people, we have to be always mindful of placing their needs above our own. That we cannot just make an amend so that we get it off our chest. This is not a matter of getting it off our chest. If it's going to get it off our chest and then place it on the back of someone else, that is not the solution here. So we have to be very careful. And I would say when I read all of this, it talks about we keep other people's happiness uppermost in our mind, keeping it always in sight that we're dealing with terrible human emotions, sometimes jealousy, and that we have to be careful about these amends. And I would say it's why we don't go it alone. That's why people, we do it in order. And thank God for good sponsorship, for people who we can discuss these things with, who've had experience, who can help us frame it, who can help us see, is it for any good use? Is it going to needlessly hurt another person? Or is it essential, right, to get well? And here, I've learned from experience as a sponsor, I rarely tell people today what they must do with their amends. I will share what the book says. I will read and discuss these things. But ultimately, we're really supposed to bring this to God. We are really supposed to pray for direction and strength from God. And then we give feedback and discussion with other people. And I have found for myself that years ago, somebody who wasn't my sponsee, she was a sponsee's sponsee, something like that, right? And the person who was sponsoring her felt like she had an amend to make, and that they brought and it was brought to me. She was encouraged to come to me, and I realize now looking back, um, I told her what she should do. I gave her like, you should do this. And she did. And she didn't believe it though, but she did it, right? She didn't believe it. She didn't want to. She was afraid. Um, and afterwards, she was really upset with me. And the men did not go great. It didn't. There were consequences. And I think because she took it to me, not really took it to God, and I got involved where it really wasn't. I should have encouraged her. Now looking back, I'm so grateful for experience where I don't answer those questions. I tell people you need to pray over this. You need to pray over this. What do you believe God is telling you to do? I can offer my experience, and she was really upset. And I don't know that she's an Overeaters Anonymous anymore. And I don't know if it was me per se or not, but I do feel bad. And I've made an attempt to reach out to her as well. And I remembered sharing it with my sponsor. And my sponsor said to me, God bless her, she said, what makes you think that you had any business to tell her what to do? And I was like, what? I was trying to be helpful. But I realized for me, it was lack of humility. Because if I bring my stuff to God, certainly I should have been encouraging her to do the same. So, where these relationships are concerned, we let God be the arbiter. God is the judge here, not one another. We can offer counsel, but if somebody is, and if somebody really doesn't feel like they want to do it or are ready to do it, we can encourage them to pray. We can bring them to the book. We can point them to experiences of people who failed to make their amends, what happened. But ultimately, that is each person's decision on their own. And the other thing I learned from reading these paragraphs is that we treat sex like any other problem. That's what it says. You treat sex like any other problem. Basically, sex relations and infidelity, where they're really talking here, are tricky areas. There's no absolute rules what we can reveal. If it's going to implicate another person, we have to have their consent. And if we're going to tell someone something that's going to cause them pain needlessly, then we think better of it. What's essential is that we keep people's happiness uppermost in mind. And for me, when I read that, I always think about gossip. This part kind of makes me think about gossip because gossip seems to be something that we do on the side, right? And the person might not have a clue that we've spoken poorly about them. And if we tell them, right? Then we're implicating other people. Like who else was talking about me? Now what do you say? Right? Like I was talking bad about you. Well, with whom? Right? Now you're implicating, now you're dragging other people in and it's causing needless pain. So, what can we do about it then? What do we do? Well, stop gossiping for starters, right? Stop it. And here's, um, where I remember that an amend means restitution. It means to make right, not just to apologize. So, how can I make a restitution for slander? Well, you can say things that are positive about a person. You can build up the person that you tore down. And actually, we don't apologize to the person we gossiped about. We apologize to the person we gossiped with, to the person we gossiped to. You know, we can tell them that we're sorry for polluting the conversation with negative words, that we value the time that we spend together, and that we've wasted their time with negative chatter. If you've not taken somebody's feelings into consideration, then start demonstrating it, right? Start demonstrating it. It says here that if we have no such complications, there's plenty we should do at home. Meaning, if you've got no complications with infidelity, none of that, there's still things that you can do at home. Sometimes we hear an alcoholic say that the only thing he needs to do is keep sober. Well, certainly he must keep sober, for there'll be no home if he doesn't. But we need to go much further than just stay abstinent. At this point, when we're working on our ninth step, we stop making our families kiss our feet because we're not eating. The whole world doesn't have to like treat me with, kid gloves. Because what I found out is my family, they don't really care. I mean, they do, but they don't if I eat or not. That's not really their like, oh my gosh, she's eating, she's not eating. What truly impacts their world is how am I behaving? Am I behaving like a recovered, healthy person, or am I behaving like this next paragraph, like a tornado roaring his way through the lives of others? Hearts broken, sweet relationships dead, affections uprooted, selfish and inconsiderate habits keeping the home in turmoil. Am I behaving like that? We feel a man is unthinking when he says that sobriety is enough. He is like the farmer who came up out of his cyclone cellar to find his home ruined. To his wife, he remarked, "Don't see anything the matter here, Ma. Ain't it grand the wind stopped blowing?" So, my sobriety, my abstinence is not enough. The house that's in ruins, well, that was me, right? That was me that caused that. And so, whose job is it now to pick up the mess? Me. It's unkind to pretend that I don't see the mess that I've made, right? To say everything's great now. Now I'm behaving properly, nothing for me to do. Page 83 talks about this long period of reconstruction ahead. And here we must take the lead. A remorseful mumbling that we're sorry won't fit the bill at all. We ought to sit down with the family and frankly analyze the past as we now see it, being very careful not to criticize them. Their defects may be glaring, but the chances are that our own actions are partly responsible. So we clean house with the family, asking each morning in meditation that our Creator show us the way of patience, tolerance, kindliness, and love. So when we make amends to these family members, especially, I would say our kids, we're to take complete ownership for our actions. Sometimes, think about specifically with my children. I think sometimes with kids, we have to be careful with our amends because they might interpret it as my poor job of parenting resulted in them being the way that they are, right? Like I'm somehow saying that my poor parenting, they're the byproducts of my poor parenting. And so, you know, I know it's like if I said to my kids, "Oh my gosh, I made so many mistakes with you." What they hear is they're a screw up and they're the culminating result of me screwing up. And so I think it's always best to tell our children that, what I've said to my kids is that I'm so fortunate that God saved them from so many of my mistakes, but that I regret not assisting God more in the work. That I'm so grateful that God stepped in and filled in the gaps for some of my crappy behavior. And I wished I would have participated more and that they came out just fine despite my mistakes. And then clearly say what it is that we regret doing or not doing. And we ask them if there's anything else that we've done that's hurt them. We don't point out their imperfections, right? I have to be really careful, not to point out anything that's necessarily wrong with them. Not in this part. Doesn't mean that I don't, you know, parent my children, that I don't give them corrective feedback in times where it's appropriate, but certainly not in my amends. Separate, right? I claim my part. I don't point out their imperfections. You know, spiritual life is not a theory. We have to live it. Unless one's family expresses a desire to live upon spiritual principles, we think we ought not to urge them. We should not talk incessantly to them about spiritual matters. They will change in time. Our behavior will convince them more than our words. We must remember that 10 or 20 years of drunkenness would make a skeptic out of anyone. So it's my behavior, it's my actions, not my words. I don't talk on and on about these principles. Instead, live the principles, practice them. And, in early recovery, I made some big messes with my family. I was so excited about these steps, especially step 10. I felt like I'd stumbled upon the secret to happy living. And I pointed out selfishness, self seeking, dishonesty, and fear every time I saw it in my family. It was like, I was like, oh, you're being selfish here. This is self seeking behavior. And I think, for the one that I really did it to the most was my daughter, for sure. And that was something I had to really clean up. That, I did it terribly to her when she was a preteen. She would tell me a problem she was having in school, and I treated her like my sponsee, not my daughter, right? I would point out to her, I would want her to find her part in every situation, and years later, when we were having big blowups, thank God it's all been resolved. But she said to me one point in her teen years, she like was not talking to me. She wrote me a very mean letter and said, I don't trust you. I don't, you're not my friends. I don't trust you. I don't, whatever it was she said. And then I was like, how could she not trust me? And she said she doesn't confide in me. She doesn't want to tell me anything because I never have her back, because I never take her side. And I had to hear what she was saying. She was right. It was not my job to tell her how she was wrong. It was my job to console her. It was my job to have her back. It didn't mean I was going to be dishonest to her, but if she came to me with a problem, my job as her mama was to just love her, right? To just love her and trust that God's got a plan for her. And so, today I practice the spiritual principles. It's, I don't point out to other people if I think they're being selfish, self-centered, dishonest, or afraid. That's the code that I have to practice. I can demonstrate it, right? So, it talks about some wrongs that we might never be able to fully right. Well, we don't worry about them if we can honestly say to ourselves that we would right them if we could. And so it says, like, we should be sensible, tactful, considerate, and humble without being servile or scraping. As God's people, we stand on our feet. We don't crawl before anyone. And so I'm sensible with my amends, meaning I'm practical and I'm level headed. You should do something that is possible. Don't promise. When I made amends to my kids, I didn't say, "Oh, I'm never going to yell at you again." Okay, that's a false promise, right? I'm going to try my best to watch my tone of my voice. I can't even tell them that I'll never check out, right? I promise you I'll never check out again. I'll never tune you out again. Or, I couldn't necessarily tell my husband, okay, from now on I'm going to do whatever you want. Like, okay, that's not being sensible. That's not being a sincere or true sincere amend. Tactful, meaning delicate and discreet. So if you're making an amends to your children or to somebody, you do it alone, one on one. Show them the respect. Do not do a drive by group amend. I could not do my kids together in one fell swoop. They were two separate people, right? Two separate people. Same with parents or siblings, right? Considerate, meaning understanding, caring, and respectful. Humble, done with humility, done with God's guidance, and not servile or scraping as God's people. So remember, we're God's people now. I love that. When I read that, it means I'm God's girl. I am God's child. I go as a representative of God, right? I go there. Remember in step 3 that He's the principal and I'm His agent. So in all things I do, I go up, I go forth representing God as best I can. And so here we're going to talk about the promises, and they're just gorgeous, right? If we're painstaking, meaning thorough, careful, meticulous about this phase of our development, we're going to be amazed before we're halfway through. Halfway through. Some people say halfway through the steps. Some people say, I think it's really halfway through the amends. Although I was amazed halfway through the steps, I was amazed pretty early on. But I found in the steps what amazed me, a new freedom. I was going to know a new freedom and a new happiness, like brand new kind of freedom. Forget just freedom to the food. This isn't even really talking about that. This is talking about spiritual freedom. I'm not going to regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. Like, I don't really feel like, even when I told you that about my daughter, there were some things that I did that, gosh, it would be so good if I didn't do it, but I did, and I don't necessarily regret it. If I could have changed it, I would have changed it. Going forward, I won't do it again. And I don't want to shut the door on it. Why not? Because it can help other people. I don't want to shut the door on anything. I want to use it, right, to help others. We comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. I actually know, I understand what it means to be serene and to have peace. No matter how far down the scale we've gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others, right? So, no matter how far I've gone, there's something I've done that's beneficial for other people. I've got a set of experiences. That feeling of uselessness and self pity will disappear. We will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Self seeking will slip away. Our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. I have a totally different outlook and attitude about life today. Feel very different in the world. Fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. I got to tell you, I messed up something this week, last week at work. I lost an important paper that now I need to use it to document something. Can't find it. I think I threw it out when I was doing cleaning up my class. I just tossed it out. And I realized when they asked me to submit something, and I can't be dishonest today. I cannot make up the data that I don't have. I lost it. Can't find it. You know what? I'm not afraid. I sent my boss an email first thing this morning when I recognized. I said, I'm really sorry. I must have thrown it out. I can't find it. I don't have to make anything, and I'm not afraid. I walked in, my head up high. It was an honest mistake. So I'm not afraid, right? Now, it doesn't say economic insecurity will leave us, it's fear of it. Not really afraid of anything today. Those things don't fear me. I trust God. We will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. I used to be so confused about things. I'm not really afraid of things anymore. They don't really confuse me. I feel somehow this intuition, I sort of know what to do. And I'll suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Well, I got to tell you, I couldn't stop eating by myself. I couldn't stop thinking about myself by myself. I couldn't stop being afraid of my boss by myself. God has done the miraculous for me. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They're being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. And with that, I pass. Thanks.